Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breech coming to you with the stolen Assault and Battery 777 Q&A video. He put up his questions on October 6th. It is now October 7th. It is legally binding for me to steal his questions from his Facebook page and run with them, because honestly, I don't think that Ravi cares to ever do this video. But we will go with a 15-minute time limit, and we will knock out as many of these as we can. We'll start with Mark Plumeri. How long do you think WWE will stay in business? Honestly, in my mind, I think that WWE will stay in business as long as WWE wants to stay in business. I know that there's been some rumors out there basically saying that Vince is going to sell, and maybe WWE would sell to NBC Universal, and they would like to own the tape library, and they would like to, continually run and make sure there's going to be live television every week for the USA Network with Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. I think that honestly, WWE has set up a way that even if something was to happen to Vince McMahon, the company would be passed down to Stephanie and Triple H. And as you can see from NXT, I believe that Triple H does have his head above water when it comes to booking a wrestling company. I think that honestly, even when Triple H comes into power, there might be growing pains, and maybe not everything will go off 100%, because NXT is definitely a small pebble inside of the giant boulder of WWE, but definitely you could tell that television would be all right. I think that even he would have the idea of shrinking the writing team, as NXT is pulled off with only his one brain, and then having one writer to pull off the ideas that he has. There's some things that maybe even Triple H and Stephanie could change to make WWE better, but I don't see it going out of business anytime soon. Definitely, even though ratings are going down, the amount of money that wrestling fans are spending, whether if it's WWE Shop, whether if it's wrestling tickets, whether if it's the WWE Network, whether if it's buying a pay-per-view, the dollars are going up for WWE. It's very weird how that's pulling off, but I think that WWE is going to be in business for a long time. Michael Davies says, what package for WrestleMania 32 would you advise a first-timer? Honestly, as a first-timer, I would tell you that honestly, the silver package or the gold package would be a great package for you to get. I will honestly tell you that when Ravi, Miguel, and I went on our first WrestleMania package excursion at WrestleMania 28, we did platinum, and with that we got 8th row seats. We only paid $1,800 a piece, and honestly, I think that same package is about $4,000 now. So definitely, ticket prices have gone up, package prices have gone up. If you're a first timer, honestly, you go with gold, you go with silver, you're going to be happy, and maybe you want to improve and get more next time. But definitely, even from gold to platinum, there's a big price jump in between. And really, from looking at it, the only difference between gold and platinum is the chair. So that was the one reason why we decided to go with gold. Will Franklin, who will face John Cena at WrestleMania, and what would it be for? Honestly, I don't know, man. You look at the guys that are out there, I would love to see Cena versus Undertaker, and even though the streak is gone, I think that definitely that is a match that a lot of people would love to see. I know that they're saying Brock versus Taker is going to happen for the last time at Hell in the Cell. I don't know if that's a way to try and build up Hell in the Cell and then not have a great finish, and then just basically have to have the finish at WrestleMania. Maybe they're fooling everybody. But as of right now, if Cena's going to be having a main match, I don't know who he's going to face. I liked the rumor of him facing Roman Reigns, for that way that the people wouldn't be able to boo Roman. But I'm not sure if it's going to work. From there, we'll go to the next question of Gianni Martello. If you could pick one thing to keep, only one thing, if you could pick one thing to keep, only one thing, and had to get rid of all. All right, Gianni, I apologize. Your question is not getting read. Ben Ricky, tips on buying tickets for Hall of Fame, Raw, and Access. That's honestly, just look on Twitter, Facebook. WWE tweets these out and posts up the pre-sales all the time. Just make sure that you have the pre-sale code. You can get the day off or you can get a break during the time tickets go on sale. For these kind of events like Hall of Fame, Raw, definitely Access. If you want to get a VIP, you need to be there on the dot. I'm talking about like tickets go on sale at 9 a.m. And also you want to make sure you know what time zone that these tickets are going on sale, and so that way you're there at the right time. Honestly, minutes could mean anything. Last year, we got shut out on Monday Night Raw tickets. We had to buy them from a secondhand buyer on StubHub because there's nothing popping up for Monday Night Raw. Hall of Fame for WrestleMania 30, we have a 5-person group. It was almost impossible for us to get tickets, so we had to buy the tickets in a group of 3 and a group of 2. This year for Hall of Fame, we had a really hard time pulling tickets. We had to pull tickets for almost close to an hour before we finally just gave up and just bought these tickets. And we didn't even really need them because we ended up wanting to go to something else along the way. But then we go to, what has been your favorite WrestleMania that you have attended? Honestly, my favorite WrestleMania that I've attended was WrestleMania 26. It had a great card. It was my first Mania. It changed the way I liked wrestling. It changed the way I watched wrestling. It brought me closer to wrestling. I have things about every other Mania that makes it special to me, like WrestleMania 27 being my first trip going on with Luke, with Miguel and with Ravi. 28, of course, sitting so close to Mania, and of course it being Rock versus Cena. 30, how great it was, that the whole trip, being in New Orleans, and every day had a different adventure that was so much fun. Every WrestleMania has something special. Will Smith, what up? Getting jiggy with it. If you could one wrestler or manager to put in the Hall of Fame, who would it be? If I was to pick one manager, it would be Paul Heyman. Made a video about that today. Cheap plug. Ching. If I could pick one wrestler to put into the Hall of Fame, honestly, that would have to be, I don't know, because I don't like putting people in there that are wrestling. So I can't put Undertaker. I can't put The Rock, because they're rumored to have matches this year. So I'll just choose Rob Van Dam, because he was high on my list to make a video about going into the Hall of Fame today. Sith Jackson wants to see Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam for the WWE title. Sure, if you want to see it, hopefully it happens. Preston Boger, what matches would you like to see at WrestleMania 32? Would love to see Brock versus Rock. Would love to see Cena versus Undertaker. Would love to see Ambrose versus Reigns versus Rollins. That's been rumored for a long time. Those are high up on my list. Daniel Pojas, what matchups would you like to see when Samoa Joe debuts on Monday Night Raw? I'm honestly not sure that Samoa Joe was ever going to debut on Monday Night Raw. I'm not sure if he was going to make the transition from NXT to Monday Night Raw, because definitely his name. I mean, like, Samoa Joe is wrestling in NXT as Samoa Joe. James Storm just wrestled as James Storm. But for the wrestlers that have come in, whether if it's Finn Balor, wonder if it's that chick that just debuted at Respect, whether if it's any of these other guys, they've changed their name. That way they own their name. That way when a figure comes out, they get their name in the magazine, they get their name on the DVD. The name is trademarked, they own it. Definitely if they were going to go back to letting the wrestlers own their names, that's a whole other thing that they want to get into. I mean, if Samoa Joe gets upset, wants to leave NXT, goes back to TNA, he has his name, and there's nothing that WWE can do about it. Are you happy? Oh, Bill Liam. Are you happy Seth is champion? Seth is a good champion. Seth is a good wrestler. Seth could be booked more in order to win matches. I can't really remember the last time that he won a match other than the Sting match. I don't think that the Cena feud really helped him. Definitely the way that he won his match at SummerSlam with dude, the guy from The Daily Show, whatever his name is, having to hit Cena with a chair, didn't really help anybody. Matthew K., what changes do you think should happen in WWE? Definitely, I think the major change is having less writers, having things less scripted, and just going back to sort of putting guys in feuds, sort of having guys have bullet points to their feud, and just letting guys speak for themselves and be themselves, instead of you basically going out there and reading a wrestling promo like they're reading a piece of paper out there. Noah Canavan Tuck, top 5 wrestlers you've ever met. Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Mickey James, Jack Swagger, and Edge. Off the top of my head, they're not the top 5 wrestlers like the ones that I brag about that I've met, but they've definitely the 5 that were the nicest to me, that meant the most, that when I got to meet them. Samir Kaurdari, what are your predictions for Hell in the Cell? Rollins will beat Kane, Brock will beat Taker, and then Charlotte will beat Nikki Bella. I think those are the 3 matches that I know about as of right now. Atit Patel, who do you think Undertaker should have faced at WrestleMania in past that he hasn't? Definitely John Cena. The way that match has never happened does not make sense to me. John Cena going up against the Streak would have been a huge deal, where it would have looked as if John Cena was going to get the torch passed to him from Undertaker. Definitely, if Undertaker would have been able to beat John Cena, it would have answered all the questions of whether, John Cena should be, it definitely would have answered all the questions about Undertaker still wrestling at WrestleMania, because every year he came out there were questions about Undertaker being a year older. Would he be able to still get the job done? Even as Undertaker kept on having the match of the night, WrestleMania after WrestleMania, people were still questioning, should he have retired after the last one? Why is he going back out there? Definitely after he reached 20-0, I thought that was going to be it. When he went after 21-0, it just was like, are you going to try to get it to 25? Once he beat Punk at 21 and he was going for 22, it just didn't seem like a round number that he was going after anymore, and it just didn't really make a lot of sense. Wesley Stover, who's your favorite wrestler or diva you meet? I just answered that one. Sorry, Wesley. Eric Zejas, what's the best WrestleMania trip advice for a first-timer? Definitely start saving your money early, and whenever you think you have enough money, you need more money. Eric Zejas, I just read you. Sorry, Eric. Bill Walsh. Oh, I see, Billy. You could be basically saying things in Ravi's Q&A, but you couldn't say anything in mine. When we chillin', son, and do you hear I'm having a baby? Much love, bro. Zap. Yeah, you text me about having a baby all the time. Gabino Lopez Gonzalez, is there a wrestler that you still want to meet? I would love to meet Shawn Michaels again, because of the fact that I don't really remember meeting Shawn Michaels. I would love to meet the Dudley Boys, even though I've met them separately. I've never met them together. I would love to meet Kurt Angle and get a real formal picture with him. I would love to meet The Undertaker. I would love to meet The Rock. And I would love to meet Stone Cold Steve Austin again. I got to meet him once, but he's the guy that I can meet 1,000 times and still be happy with it. Let's see if I can get this last one off really fast. Justin Valencia, what's the most prized possession of your collection? Right up there. Right there. 20-0 plaque signed by Triple H and by Shawn Michaels. Had to get them customly done. I took it to SummerSlam a few years ago. Got Triple H to sign it on Saturday. Got Shawn Michaels to sign it on Sunday. I just put up the Rollins WrestleMania 31 plaque right there. That looks beautiful. Really nice. A lot of people said that was wasn't that great of a buy because it wasn't signed. But honestly, I'm really glad that I have that on my shelf or on my wall. Once I get it signed by Rollins, I mean even more. But thank you everybody for sending questions to Ravi. Thank you for Ravi for not answering the questions, and I was able to make the video and put it up. See you guys down the road.